What is going on, everybody? I go by the name of Kari, and I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on SneakerPhetish. February is looking pretty crazy over at Jordan Brand. They got a lot of very dope releases that are on the way, but today I was able to get my hands on one of those releases that just recently got pushed back to around February the 27th. Without further ado, let's take a look at the packaging, and then let's take a look at the sneaker. Now, you guys know, first of all, I'm a sucker for a good box. To this day, I still don't know how everybody puts all their sneakers in drop front boxes because I am a sucker for the packaging. Now, as you guys know, of course, there's the newest Jordan 4 that's getting ready to drop, and in typical Jordan 4 fashion, you have the word flight just the way that it appears on the tongue of the Air Jordan 4, right on the lid of the box, with that big red jump man where the L would go. Now, of course, the big draw on the box here is the print all over the box. Some people call it splatter print, but that's not really what it is. This print actually mimics the pattern on the sneaker itself that we're going to take a look at in just a moment. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the shoe. Boom. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Air Jordan 4 Taupe Haze. Not bad at all. I like this sneaker for a lot of different reasons. I don't like this sneaker for a couple of reasons as well. But first impressions of the sneaker, it's a good looking shoe. Now, obviously, we're going to talk after we take a look at the sneaker about what this sneaker clearly looks like, clearly what everybody is talking about. But before we get into that, I do want to talk a little bit about these materials because these are a little bit different, especially for an Air Jordan 4. Let's take a deeper look. All right, starting with the upper here, you guys are going to notice that on the upper, it's primarily this Taupe Haze colorway. Not quite sure what Taupe Haze is, but taupe, as we all know, is basically a variant of brown. It's a good looking color, I'm not gonna lie about that, and I really like the fact that it's offset with so much black in the shoe. The black wings on the sneaker on the lateral and medial side, the black eyelets, the black laces. Inside of the sneaker here, inside of the sock liner is all black. I like the hits of black. You also get the black on the midsole and wrapping around the outside of the toe box as well. I really like it. Now, obviously, the main draw here is this cracked up looking material on the upper of the sneaker. Now, if you guys look actually very closely, you're going to notice that there are two different materials on the upper of the sneaker. The first material being this smoother suede that's going around the toe box, around the lateral and medial side of the shoe. And then, of course, you get the cracked material, kind of this cracked leather on the tongue, on the collar of the shoe, going down the eyelets and wrapping around the mud guards and toe box of the sneaker as well. You get a really, really good look at the nature of that cracked material here down at the bottom of the tongue. It literally looks like the sneaker has already been worn. It looks pretty much worn through, which is wild to me because originally I was like, why in the world would they do that to a pair of Air Jordan 4s and make them look kind of cracked and beat up and run down already? I don't know why they would do that, but I think I have an idea that we'll get to in just a minute. Brown mesh on the sides of the sneaker here with that black right underneath that, so yet another black hit. I like it. One more interesting thing to note here is this painted midsole here. Now, normally the midsole, this part of the midsole here, the upper part of the midsole would be a different color. Sometimes a more primary color of the shoe, other times a more primary color on the midsole. This time, it's pretty much the same color on the upper part of the midsole and the lower part of the midsole. Now, personally, I like it, but I have heard that some other people don't. But again, this shoe is a customizer's dream. You can do whatever you want to do with the midsole, so I'm interested to see what people do with this. Taking a top-down look at the sneaker here. Now, again, looks pretty much the same for an Air Jordan 4. You get this really nice suede vamp here. You get the really nice mesh netting on the tongue. Again, regular black laces, but let's talk a little bit about the upper part of the tongue. So the tongue tag here for this Jordan 4 features an infrared 23 colored Jumpman. On the back of the tongue, you actually get kind of a more plush, a little softer tongue, but again, the lining on the inside of the tongue is all infrared 23 as well, and you get the black upside down Air Jordan tag, and the Air Jordan writing is even in infrared 23. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of the infrared 23 on this sneaker. I don't know why they went with infrared 23 when it's obvious that a regular red, a university red, a varsity red, a regular red would have looked so much better on this sneaker. Whoever thought this up must have done those Jordan 6s back in the day. You guys remember when they put that pink infrared 23 looking red on that Jordan 6 and everybody hated it? It's like we got the same thing here. It's like that person lost their job and somehow got it back at Nike and made the exact same mistake all over again. Moving around to the back of the shoe here, you get this really nice taupe Jumpman on the back against a black background. It's a nice touch. I like it a lot. I still have a hard time wearing 4s. I don't know if you guys do because this right here tends to cut into my Achilles heel. I don't know if you guys have that problem, but I always have to be really careful wearing Jordan 4s for that reason. Now on the outsole of the sneaker, very interesting outsole. You get pretty much a full black painted outsole with these little hits here of the infrared 23 on the top, kind of the forefront of the traction pattern. You also get an infrared 23 Jumpman right there in in the midfoot as well against that white background. And last but not least, you get an infrared 23 insole with the black Jumpman on the heel. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the Taupe Haze Air Jordan 4s. Now here's the deal about these. Like I mentioned, I like what Jordan Brand has been doing with a lot of their sneakers lately, which has kind of been to accentuate finer details that they really either have done before, but maybe have been improving on lately, or kind of instituting something new that gives these sneakers a few more layers and a little bit more depth. Now, what I mean by that is with the cracked leather in this sneaker here, it actually looks worn on the outside when they're brand new, but underneath this, we've seen a couple of pictures so far of people actually peeling apart all of this cracked leather here and revealing what lies beneath. And you know what lies beneath is actually some more beautiful looking soft suede, soft material here that makes the sneaker almost look brand new all over again. It's very smooth, it's very nice. So the dope part about this sneaker is that it actually reveals the beauty beneath, and sometimes it can also represent kind of a new beginning for this sneaker. So it's kind of an inverted version of what happens to a lot of sneakers. The more you wear these, the better they're gonna end up looking and the newer they're gonna end up looking as opposed to the opposite. So they're kind of pre-aged on the outside, and I like that idea. It's really dope. I don't know why people wanna take the cracking off so fast instead of just enjoying the sneaker for what it is. For me, I enjoy sneakers for what they are. Now, that's not to say that there's not some amazing customizers out there that are doing some dope things with sneakers and making these their own canvas. We talk about that all the time. But to me, you still want to integrate the character of the sneaker as you're customizing the shoe. Now, one way that I would love to see the shoe customized, somebody please make this Jumpman black and make the back of this tongue black, and I will buy that custom if it's in a size 9. But like I mentioned, Jordan Brand has been doing a fantastic job of adding more layers underneath this sneaker that the more you wear them, the more you discover about them and what lies beneath the surface. And a great example of that is the Air Jordan 5 Low Chinese New Year. Now there's a separate video about these, but I just wanted to highlight these one more time because these sneakers have a lot of depth and character right underneath the outer of the sneaker here. You can start to see a little bit in the mesh netting on the medial side of the shoe. So I know that everybody is trying to buy these for the obvious reason. Let's get the elephant out of the room right now and talk about Travis Scott. All right, now listen, yeah, they remind everybody of a Travis Scott friends and family sneaker that nobody could get their hands on. This is about to be the Mocha Jordan 1 effect all over again, except it's gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna explain that in just a moment. But yeah, it does kind of remind you of the olive friends and family Air Jordan 4 for Travis Scott. Yeah, it does have all that black on the midsole and the black around the bottom of the toe box here, similar to that sneaker. Yeah, there's design cues, and yeah, it's brown like everybody used to see in certain photos of certain versions of that sneaker. I got it. Nike's got it too. Personally, I think that Jordan Brand saw the success of the Mocha Air Jordan 1, and they saw how much people were really loving that sneaker as much as it reminded them of the Travis Scott sneaker, and they thought to themselves, well, we pretty much have intellectual property rights all over Air Jordan 4s, even the friends and family versions. Why don't we roll the dice again and make another one that looks like another Travis Scott sneaker and see if they eat them up? And so far, with these sneakers going for over $400 on the resale market right now at an early release, it looks to be the same effect. But here's the deal with these. These are not gonna hit the same way that the Mocha ones did, or obviously the Air Jordan 1 Travis Scotts. These are gonna be a little bit different. So for all you resellers, this is the reseller portion of the video. Once again, I want you to listen up. For this sneaker, yes, the prices right now are elevated a bit because the sneaker's early and the sneaker just got pushed back yet again, like a lot of other Air Jordans that we've been seeing these days. So right now, yeah, if you can get your hands on these for retail, which good luck with that because I didn't and pretty much nobody else did, but if you can get your hands on these, you're gonna get about $400 to $500 for this sneaker right now. But I caution all of you resellers trying to make this money, be careful with that because when this sneaker drops, it's going to drop in price. I said what I said and I stand by what I said. When this sneaker drops, it's gonna drop in price, but here's what's gonna happen. The sneaker's gonna bounce back up. It's gonna bounce back up in value. So you're gonna see a little bit of a valley in pricing for a little while. Now, if you're looking for a pair of the sneakers and you happen to take an L when they do drop, use that time to go ahead and buy the sneaker here. I see the sneaker is probably gonna dip down maybe into the 3s, possibly into the high 2s. When it does, buy that shoe because I'm telling you right now, the shoe will go back up in value. It's just no telling how long it's gonna take for the sneaker to go back up in value. So it's gonna be up, It's going to dip down and it's going to be back up again. So make sure that if you're trying to buy them, you buy at the right time. But like I mentioned, it's a dope sneaker. It's a really, really fun sneaker. It's a dope sneaker to style. Personally, I wish that this were a women's release from Jordan Brand. I'm not going to lie to you guys about that. I feel like women really would have done right by this sneaker and really would have done this sneaker justice. It's muted colors like a lot of women have been asking for in the sneaker industry lately, with a really nice pop of color on there as well. So personally, it would have been dope to see that go that way. But for whatever reason, we're getting these as a men's release. So fellas, rejoice. Not that it really matters because y'all buy up all the women's sneakers anyway, so. But as I mentioned, no deep story for real, no really rich, deep history. There's just a dope sneaker that takes an interesting take on a classic silhouette, adds a little pop of color to it. Not my favorite color, but it's still a good looking shoe. So is it worth the pickup? Yeah, pick these up. These look good. Style them. Throw them on with some black skinny jeans and do what you do. All right, guys, listen, that's pretty much all that I have to say about these. Now it's time for you guys to sound off down in the comments and let me know what you guys think about the Air Jordan 4 Taupe Haze coming out in late February. Are these ones that you guys are going to try to get your hands on? Are these a must cop or are these a hard pass? And if they're a hard pass, chances are you're waiting for something else. So what is that other thing that you're waiting for if you're going to pass on these? Sound off below. Let me know. Of course, right down in the comments, make sure that you click on that subscribe button so we can welcome you into the Sneaker Fetish family to make sure you don't miss out on any more heat that comes through like these, because I guarantee you I got a lot more heat on the way. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on Sneaker Fetish, taking a look at these with me, unboxing them with me for a couple of minutes. I go by the name of Kari. This is the Air Jordan 4 Taupe Haze. And until next time, I'm out.